So this video is mostly going to be POV shots of me taking the Leica Q3 out to Venice Beach for some street photography and just my take on it. Like I said, I took it out for street photography this weekend at Venice Beach, which if you've been to Venice, you know there's always something to take pictures of, people, architecture, you know, animals, stuff like that. And I wanted to see what it could do in just all of those different environments. I went about high noon, which was great for me because I was able to really see what it can do color-wise. I hate when I'm taking street photography and I just can't see the color of the sky. That's always something in the back of my head, like, please give me some color in the sky. I hate blown out sky pictures. And it did really well. It did really, really well, maintaining a lot of good color without me having to bump up the ISO too much. I think the entire day, well, obviously because it was high noon, but for most of the day, I believe I was at ISO 400 or less. And I was trying to keep my aperture around 5.6, 6.3, just because I really wanted to have my subjects in focus. I didn't really have a need to do too much 1.7 just being so bright, but I am going to test that in a low light situation soon, so be on the lookout for that. Starting with the build, it was very comfortable in my hand. I was out there for about 2 hours and I did not have any issues with holding it. I did have to get the thumb grip on the side, or I did have to get the grip here on the side, the little added feature where you screw in on the bottom, just so I can hold it because I do have big hands. This is a pretty small camera overall, but this grip, you know, it fit my hand nicely without it being tired or anything like that. I love the high burst feature. I was taking pictures of some basketball players out there and wanted to see if I would have some good photos of just moving subjects, and it did really well. I'm just so amazed. This is my first 60 megapixel camera, and I'm just super impressed with how far you can zoom in and still have a clear image. Like, to me, I'm able to have multiple pictures just because I can crop in close or just have it really wide. And because it is a 28 millimeter, taking street photography with a 28 millimeter can be challenging, especially if you are introverted or if you have issues taking pictures of people, because there's no way to hide that you're taking pictures of a person. Like, there's just, with the telephoto lens, I'm able to at least stand, you know, yards back or hide behind trees and stuff, or just kind of be incognito with it, right? But when you have a wide shot and you want to take a picture of the subject, you kind of have to be close if you want the picture to make sense. Now, I was trying to test that to see if, you know, I want to take a picture of, you know, this homeless person, but I don't want to be all up in their face. So I wanted to see if I could take a picture and just crop in, and I was able to. And that's when the actual crop features made sense for me to use, because you can hit this button here at the top and you can go from 35, 50, 75, and 90. And just seeing that option made it a lot easier if, you know, I didn't want to be all up in somebody's face. I didn't really test the macro feature while I was out there. I was trying to get more wider shots. Venice Beach isn't really something I want to get macro photography for anyway, but it's nice that I had that option if I wanted to. And from what I've seen, I've been noticing a lot of people just shooting on strictly automatic everything. Automatic aperture, ISO, shutter speed. I am not that type of shooter personally. I like to be in control, but I might test that theory that, you know, it'll still have great images if everything was on auto. But again, I'm not that type of person. I just like to manage some type of control when I'm shooting. I don't like the camera taking all the credit for, you know, what I'm doing. One thing I did have to get used to was the focus modes or the focus areas. I'm a Sony shooter, so I know the different modes that help me take a better picture or just help me stay in control when I'm filming. But for this one, I was using multi-field, and there were times where I didn't want it to focus on a wall, more so the subject, and it wouldn't do that. Or if I went to tracking works really well. I'm really surprised how well that works. I was trying not to stay on eye face body detection because I wasn't just taking pictures of people. I was taking pictures of bicycles and graffiti and, you know, all the things. So having that on wasn't super helpful for me. But then I realized that I can tap to focus on this screen. And I should have known that, you know, but I don't use tap features even on my my Sony FX3s or my A7S III, stuff like that. So I did forget that feature, but If you are a type of person who just wants to tap and shoot, you have that option. It has a touchscreen on the back. I love the flip screen because I was taking a lot of low angled shots, so this came in handy. I heard the Q2 doesn't have that, but this is my first Leica camera, so I'm glad the first one that I got does have this option. It's not a deal breaker, but it's not my favorite thing that I cannot, pull it out from the side. I have to pull it out from the bottom or the top, like directly. I'm so used to having an option to just put my finger in a little divot here on the side and it flips, but you can only grab it from the bottom itself. So again, not a deal breaker, but it was some moments where I forgot that I couldn't do that. And I was looking at it like, am I tripping? I was just looking at it like I was crazy or something. Overall, though, I'm really happy with what it can do. I still have a lot to play with. I still have custom buttons to, assign to certain things because I'm not sure yet which ones are going to be the ones I go to the most. Oh, lastly, another cool feature that I like on here was the color profiles. I like that I'm able to go to the Leica app and they have a couple of color profiles there now. I hope it grows. I hope they get a couple of different film ones. You can download it from the app to the camera directly, and you will have different color profiles to play with, so that's cool. I was using the black and white and the monochrome a couple of times while I was out there, and it was nice just to have a little bit more artistic feel. Overall, though, I'm very happy that I got this over the Fuji X100VI, and that wasn't by choice. It was just because Fuji was taking forever, so I was like, forget it. I'm just going to look out what else is out there, and luckily I found this. And if you're asking how did I get it so fast, I couldn't tell you. I literally made the decision after I canceled my order with Fuji. I went on Amazon. I saw it was on sale. The markup wasn't crazy. It was like a couple $100s. I was like, cool. It was brand new. And I got it in a couple of days. And I didn't realize so many people had this on back order or they haven't gotten it yet. So I understand the pain because I was waiting for 2 months with the Fuji X100VI, and that's why I canceled it because I was just tired of waiting. But this is worth the wait. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one is definitely worth the wait. Price point, I mean, it's gonna be arguably one of the things people talk about the most. I already had some conversations with people in my DMs saying, well, if you just want to get expensive things, then go for it. Like, hey, I tried to get the Fuji X100VI, so obviously I'm not just aiming for the most expensive things. But I'm not mad when I feel like I got my money's worth with something expensive. And I feel like that's what's happening here. I haven't tested the 8K feature. Probably won't use the video function of this camera, but it's nice that if I wanted to, I have 8K in here, and that's amazing for something this small. Now, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Simeon. I help new creatives find direction. So if you have questions regarding camera, video, any type of gear, please ask it so I can make a video regarding that subject. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend, and I will see you in the next video.